We're at 700. Let's see if we can get a few more here. We're playing 5-minute games. We'll see if our opponent's openings get a little bit more solid so that they make it out of the opening without dropping pieces and getting checkmated quickly. Then we'll start to see more of the attacking concepts in the middle game. Always e4, knight f3. I feel like that's been good so far. But as we, get up the ranks here, people are going to stop taking this knight on d4. f6. Well, I've gone over something. I've said it time and time again. When I see f6, I'm putting a bishop on that diagonal immediately. Always a great feeling. Oh, here we go. Another great feeling for me. Queen d5 will threaten checkmate there. Queen d3, pretty good move. I'm between both of them. Queen d5 I think I like a little bit more, mainly because I don't see knight f6 happening, and knight e7 won't be possible if he wants to keep f7 defended. So I would say I would normally lean queen d3 here, but in this particular case, even if he plays queen e7, he can't play bishop e6. He can't really play these knight moves, so I'll play the more aggressive option right here, and bishop f4 castles, rook e1 afterwards. We're getting yet another situation where I feel like a lot of moves are going by. We're almost out of the opening from my end, at least. Like, I'm about to go here. And I have all the pieces developed, and my opponent hardly does. Okay, well, knight e7. Obviously, we're going to go for queen f7. Now the important part. Now the important part. Where's my win? Definitely for choice here. Definitely for choice. We have bishop e6. We have queen e6. Bishop f4. I would say the move that will win me the game the quickest will be knight d5 followed by bishop b5 checkmate. I can promise you that. So that's just if we want to win the game the quickest. Apart from that, I would say bishop f4 and long castle to immediately get threatening that pawn. Yeah, that would probably do it there. That would probably do it. But knight d5 just so strong with bishop b5 as a threat that, yeah, it's impossible not to play this. Even queen e8 doesn't work. Like, at this point, you have to play this. And queen e8 was the move I was expecting from him, and just kind of crazy. But bishop b5, there's no way out. All right, 8:39 here, so we're playing way up now. I'm expecting a more solid opening from our opponent, so let's see what we get here. Okay, here we go. c3. What was I just saying? This is already, I guess, a little bit more of a thematic type of opening. He wants to just play d4. How should we fight against this? Play some really slow moves. Very slow. Okay, these don't do that well against the knight, but obviously we can't do that just yet. So I'm going to start with the queen. Takes feels like we're maybe briefly surviving. G4, knight there. I mean, that doesn't feel right. Plus, here at the moment, there's queen a4 or queen b5, so it's not really something we can do quite yet. I feel like I'll start with g4, just see how he wants to deal with that. I like this move by him. Like, I think that's the right kind of move to do. I'm gonna go here. I have this weird feeling that he's interested in knight f5, which definitely an interesting move. Tricky though, very tricky. I really like the way he's playing. I wouldn't say knight f5 is going to stand out to him just yet. Like, it's still knight f5 takes rook on e1 kind of hanging. So yeah, love the way that he's handling the position so far. Long castle is just, I mean, I'd give up a lot to long castle here, but you just can't really move this bishop without not really a way to do it. So I just have a feeling we're not going to manage long castling here. So as a result, I think we have to switch to a different plan. And knight e5 looks reasonable. Might be a way to get long castle, but I think we'll go more direct. So let's hit the bishop. Guess we might see this. Knight f5, still always a move. But yeah, expected that, and we do see it. I'm gonna take it. I mean, getting the dark square bishop off is a small achievement for me, I feel like. Getting castle here, there's knight g6 all the time. Still, this move exists. Rook is hanging, but I mean, it exists because white can kind of throw that in. And yeah, for some reason I was quite sure that we would see this, but maybe it's not as bad as you might think. Maybe it's playable, folks. I can see it working. Okay, he goes bishop f7. So what's the material count here? That's what I'd like to know. Because remember that this technically can't be taken. So his next move is, it has to be this. And I don't know if I'm seeing it. He might have given up a little too much material. So I feel like king f8 is the sort of obvious way to start. King d7 comes to mind though. Definitely. The only reason I like king f8 is because then I'm threatening the bishop. Like, I'm threatening to play queen takes bishop. So king d7, definitely, but yeah, I feel like king f8 to threaten the bishop is a little bit more secure. And yeah, takes here, we're just gonna take like this to guard my rook. And have I been counting properly? I think I'm up one here, like one piece. We got an extra one somehow in that crazy exchange. I didn't want to play queen takes f7 because he would do the exact same thing, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces hanging. Didn't like the look of that. Takes. We're gonna take back. Knight in here looks annoying enough that feels like we should probably move, but I'll go like this. Slide the queen over. Maybe some pressure there. Nice that queen takes. We have bishop takes d5. Meanwhile, there's a threat on f2. Another very nice move. Knight f4. Might have been some type of queen takes on c7 kind of threat. So I guess we're just gonna bring the pieces over. Feels like that wasn't the play. Just get the king off this weird diagonal. Oh, it's playing a little bit too quick here. Start this. I think once we take this off, life becomes a little bit easier. It's only got a queen now, so we just want to take there. Check. And I suppose like a trade would be the easiest, but queen on. We're playing our attacking chess. Very high energy player. I mean, you can tell we're in the big leagues now. Nice to get a bishop 8 in there. GG. E4. Always. Okay, it goes D6, so I feel like taking the center will be the right idea. Okay, let's see how he's gonna play. Normally it would be something like this. Well, against the Pierts, I think, you're gonna get this setup out of me pretty much every time. No problems there. Take this way. Taking that way is a little more solid, but taking this way allows for those pieces to push him around a little bit. So pushing and shoving. F6 is usually the next move. I will. How do I keep that queenside castle energy? That's the most important thing. I'll just start with a boring move. It's very hard to be objective about the position, but also try to keep queenside castling. So I think what I'd like to go for is a position where maybe he even takes this bishop, but we get the castling we want. Yeah, I was gonna go here. Trying to get this. I'm trying to make it happen. Because yeah, I would say most of the time, just even short castling, you still get a lot of good stuff, like a good attack with short castle. But I'm really working here to get my king on the other side. Okay, A6 is a move that you always love to see. Love to see in openings like this, just because it's slow. It is a slow move. Is long castle forced in this speedrun? I wouldn't say forced, but in general, where possible, I try to make an effort to castle on the opposite side of my opponent. Can balance the position the most. But you can definitely still attack with no queens on the board, with same side castling. It's always possible. Okay, we're gonna get castled here. And he's played this, and he still can't even play b5. So I feel like bad things are looming right. Well, h3 feels, I don't know about forced, but it feels like a move, all right. We'll just keep it simple. I suppose we could take here, but something feels pretty nice about this bishop in the middle, and I assume he's gonna go knight e7 to d5. Okay, that move, definitely happier to see. Take. This one would be a little bit crazy, so we know that he's going to take like that. Already d5 becomes a very desirable move here. And I think g4 next, so that we can maybe slide the queen over to h3. But it's nice because now we have a very good position in the center of the board as well. So it feels like I can go all in on the attack, but I can also win in the center of the board too. Rook h7 feels maybe a little bit much. Yeah, a little bit too much. When knight g5 is a perfectly acceptable move, but does open things up. It's quite tempting. I think it might work with e6 first. Yeah, I think it could work with e6 first. So takes. Yeah, it'll be very close though. It's not the most obvious. So here. And I mean, don't need to bother calculating moves like this or this. Yeah, and this is where I was like a little unsure, but I think we start with e6. Just so that when we go here, we also have not just check, but also queen takes g7 now. So this seems like a big enough threat he has to react to. Now when we go here, it's a little bit different than before. Not only do I have the open f-file where the king's going to be, but I also have checkmate. So if I had started with this, I don't know, maybe he could play knight takes d5, queen h7, king f8. I might be winning there, but I think I have to do a bit of work. Now queen h7 has like knight e6 after, it has bishop, it has rook f1. So all the pieces are, everyone's working here. And yeah, bishop takes bishop. Exactly, we have just checkmate there. So he goes here, it's not really going to help his case, obviously, with knight takes e6 in the air, so he's definitely lost here, but I think it's possible that it's not even worth it for me to do this when perhaps queen h7 could win the game here. Queen h7, knight f5 looks like, you know, it's just kind of barely hang on there. Yeah, takes. Rook f1, no. Ah, takes, queen h8, king e7, takes, king d6, pawn takes. But is anything really going to be better than this? No. I'll probably end up winning his queen in most of the lines, so let's do this. Start with check here. Really know how he's going to stop this. Yeah, I mean, it was a good defensive attempt, but GG. Very tough to stop what we were up to there. All right, e4. Switch it up a little bit and play c5. I've played c5 a few times already, but I always like to play this particular one because most people love to play bishop c4, and you know, the amount of people that just hang their bishop to c4 is very high, or you know, they go back here and happy to take my extra space and slightly better position. pawn. Definitely e3 can be played. Knight there, then, you know, I'll take the material. Other things to do, but I'll take it. Rook e1, develop and defend the piece. Although it doesn't look like we can castle too safely in this line, I think we'll be able to still have a pretty good position. H3. Okay, well, let's bring this bishop out of harm's way and also make an attack on the knight. I also really enjoy that d4 could be met by c4 in the future. And I don't like this move coming in next, so I think I'm going to play d6. d4, c4 is kind of nice. And bishop here will have knight d7 as an answer. I know this knight can be taken. It looks very tempting, but with my position, I'm not sure I want to give away my bishop. This guy hopefully is going to be a difference maker there. Okay, let's stick with the knight. So our king, I think he is relatively stable in the center. Probably have to play a move like e5 soon. He's targeting d6. I will definitely be able to defend it. But he's piling some pressure. Okay, he goes bishop b2. It might be time to stress him out a little bit with a move like g5. The only like big downside to g5 is fortunately that. So I think long castling is slightly too ambitious for me here. So I'm just going to bring the rook in. But I'm definitely not going to be castling kingside here, or depends what he does. But more like g5, rook g8. Because I've got h3 in the position, which means g5, g4 is going to be really nice. He's going to have to take, or I'm going to take him. Something's going to happen there. Yeah, you need something to do. These moves look good because it's like opening something. g5, there's knight g4, so it might not be the best move at the moment. So yeah, let's hop one of our pieces in there. Maybe this one. Yeah, okay, let's bring the bishop back. Start this so we can move the knight. No sense in being a pawn for no reason. But yeah, I want to do this. It looks like his last move kind of works against that. Wow, he takes. Okay, I'm going to take this way. Bishop takes looks tremendous, but I want to use the open G file. H5 looks nice, but I prefer almost F5. The only issue is queen D4. So yeah, let's go for this. Okay, just things are converging on squares. I wouldn't say that there's serious threats just yet, but some stuff is happening. 94 next, maybe. Okay, he finally makes what I would call a pretty good move here. Like, in the sense that he's actively trying to get his pieces going, and that's what you should be doing. So, credit to him for that. But I think at this point, we're kind of ready to abandon that side of the board. Focus elsewhere. However, easier said than done because, you know, b4, he's going to take. He's right to get that counterplay that he's going after. Put it that way. So yeah, definitely here. I think we'll bring the knight into the center. There's queen there. Might not be the best move. I really do like king f8. Just as a get the heck out of the way kind of move. Has a good feeling. I know I'm not going to castle anywhere. It's literally illegal, so this is a strange move there. Rook g6. There is no knight takes f5, so not immediately worried about that. But yeah, definitely like knight e4. Okay, he's all in on a pawn that he still can't take. How annoying is that? Finally time to bring the knight in, I think. The only move that would have been a little bit smarter would be bishop f6 first. But our point was more to go knight c3 and bishop takes f3. So I think we're going to be able to manage that. Well, g2 is defended by two things, so playing queen c6, he's just going to move his knight or something. I don't think we're doing enough there. Okay, we're obviously losing a6, but I feel like the guy's worked hard enough that he deserves the a6 pawn. F4 looks... it's probably the move. Just want to disrupt and dislodge the pieces that are near the king. Here, then I don't really have bishop takes g2, so I think I'll probably continue with it now, followed by f3. It's a nice tactical theme. Just want to expose the king here. At d5 looked nice, of course, but I'd rather not have the knight go back and defend things. I'm looking to just go for the mate rather than just take the material here, so d5. Yeah, winning some nice material. I can't lie, but I feel like this will be the KO finish. Yeah, once this happens, the mate threats really start to just appear out of nowhere. Okay, wow, knight takes d6. Well, let's go here and... knight e2 threatens rook g1 mate. I actually don't really want to allow this. This one looks convincing. He wasn't even here. All I had to do was make a legal move. All right, we're both rated 749 here. Only one of us can hit 750. There's only room for one of us here. Bishop g4, eh? I mean, taking on e5 is a little bit like... I mean, you can do this, but I mean, the queen trade is just incredible for me. So even though we would be trading queens there, I certainly don't mind it. Hey, look, I get to threaten Scholar's mate, except I get to do it without all the bad things about usually threatening Scholar's Mate. What a privilege. Right, he's brought his queen out early. In general, I would have probably played this move anyway, but I'm going to play it now, certainly because I just don't want to trade queens with him. Yeah, he goes here. There isn't really a bishop g5 move to play. Here, he might throw in bishop c5. Maybe bishop e3 first, because I really want to castle long. That's the thing. Knight c3 is it's the better move. So I'm going to go here. Very hard to imagine a different move than this being played, but okay, he goes c6. A good one. Knight d5 was a pretty strong idea there. Bishop e3. And I think we want to castle long here. It's what must be done. We're getting set to attack here, folks. After a move like knight here, it simply begs the response. It just begs the response. It's what had to be played. It's what must be done. There was only one option. And he backed me against the wall, and maybe 5 was necessary. We've got some options here, I think it's fair to say. We've got some options. Knight d5 is looking good. It's looking good. Bishop c5 first. If he's smart, he'll like really run away. Trying to find the, because remember, here, we want rook d7, so we take here. He could go queen d6 and escape. Is he less likely to do that? Or if we take here first and go knight there, will he play this? So I feel like at that point, he might think to run away. So I'm trying to, I think we should start this way. It would definitely, take a strong-willed person to put that king on the d file there. That's for sure. So now we go here, and I think we've created a situation where it's the most likely that he just takes it back. We'll see. I mean, he's only got one move here. He's probably wondering why we didn't take the queen. But we didn't take the queen because we didn't need the queen. All we needed was this knight, this bishop, and this rook. Bishop c4. The nice thing about this move is any type of coordination that people are trying to have on f7 just is not happening. Maybe queen takes for me. Oh, okay. e5 isn't even happening. So yeah, these pieces are just not coordinating. It's not happening. I'm going to make sure to take that bishop off the board here. I'm not going to win it. Well, I might if he goes here, but if he goes there. It's not about winning the piece. It's just take the center. This is a pretty good example. I'm going to win the pawn back here, but I would probably do this move regardless. Yes, he can win this pawn. We can take here. Going to get really, really good compensation. shall we go here and see what he wants to do? Rook b8's a fun move to play. Taking this, though, makes total sense. Start with this. Yeah, again, we're on like move 10, and as is the theme with these lower rated players, they almost always just have their queen develop. It feels like such a simple thing to fix. Just don't do it. They just keep doing it. It just keeps happening. Bishop here. At queen a6, we would go to b5. I think this is definitely the move, but we're here for now. This move traps the queen, so he needs to react to that. He doesn't, so I think we'll go here. He has some kind of almost coordination on f7. I think that's all it is. Almost coordination. Not quite there yet. But yeah, he finally moves his first non-queen, or gets his first non-queen piece developed. I mean, he developed the bishop earlier, but it didn't last long. But it was like move 11 when he finally did it. Now, very nicely done. Credit where credit's due, finding what I would say is the best way to play the position. And after knight takes, we'll just make sure to take the pawn because the knight would be trapped there. But interesting, he doesn't take the material, he goes back. Okay. All right. Knight takes, maybe he castles here. This would be a little bit more normal. Definitely gonna play c4. Not only does it watch that a little bit, but there is bishop to c5. We're gonna take en passant. And yeah, it'd be very hard to imagine a different checkmate than h5, h4. Let's go here. But yeah, knowing your checkmate patterns helps here, because I mean, I look at the position and all I see is like pawn here, knight g3. So we'll see if something like that happens. Speaking of patterns, this looks like it could be another good one. Like if he takes, you know, using the knight and queen against a king is always something we dream of doing. Knight here, hey, like I said, credit to him. Knight here is about as good as it could get. I'll play h5, but he's done a good job defending. I'm less interested in like taking and winning the game outright. I'm gonna show a few patterns that might be useful here. But he's so far done a good job defending them. He moves back instead of maybe the only move, b4 in the position. And king here. I don't think there's like mate on the spot, but there's definitely a lot of good stuff to be played here. So he'll probably take this pawn to cover this next turn, which is why we're still thinking. How do we make it happen here? I'll push for now. Definitely a lot of things that would have happened there. Is it possible we get him in a position where he feels compelled to resign? It's I attack, you resign. And surely now, you know, finding a backwards knight move that's not a capture, there we go. That's more difficult now. Sicilian, in fact, our Sicilian works really well because tons of people like to do this little e4, bishop c4 thing, and it's very easy to counter with this. And then queen h5, queen f3 is just never a threat. So that's why I always like this as well. Fredson, thanks for the 56 months. Let's continue. All right, maybe another Sicilian. See how he wants to play. We like this. Wonder if he's going to do that. He started with knight c3, so it is a little bit different. We're waiting for the arrival of this bishop. You know you want to. Okay. So I like this because I feel like it's easy to launch some kind of attack against the king. White almost always castles kingside, in especially in closed Sicilian positions. So yeah, bishop out. Nice pawn structure here. Knight f6 is like the... Yeah, let's go knight c6. I think the knight moves are like, yeah, I'm not up to anything. Don't mind me. Just chilling. Until you realize. Let's go queen here. It looks like I'm basically preparing castling. Okay, so it's very clear to me that he wants to cycle that bishop around. Knight here is a great move because it'll be very tempting for him to take, which, I don't know, it gives me some g-file hope. And the dark squares will be significantly weaker. E3. I think it'll be difficult for me to find a better looking move than using the open file I just earned for myself. So here we go. Okay. Well, I think we all know that we're about to win this knight here. Give me that. Give me that. Oh, wow. What a guy. That's an impressive move there. The French. They're tricky. Now, it's not like my queen is threatened here, so I don't think we need to react immediately. F5 looks kind of nice. I assume we'll see the king move, because who doesn't want to threaten my queen for real? E5. Oh no. E5. Jeez, I mean... I thought I would have to work harder to earn a move like that. I feel like taking this with just about anything would be acceptable. Even bishop takes to take with the knight. This is fine, of course. Leaving my queen here because it's not attacked, and if I retreated, then he might have bishop f3. So keeping that square controlled. And if he plays f3 himself, he's definitely going to get hurt by a move like rook takes g3. Okay, well, bishop takes c3 is possible here. I think we're going to go for bishop d4 though. This move threatens the pawn. I'm feeling like he almost has to play rook back. And then I could play rook takes g3. And using this pin and this long-range bishop, we're going to manage the successful attack here. Yeah, does have to go back. And then yeah, we get a nice finish here. But the Sicilian will give you attacking prospects like that. As soon as he played bishop takes f6, it's like use the G file, use the dark squares. We brought the queen in. E4. Okay, I guess we'll stay with the same type of idea, like just E4, knight out. Yeah. There's no bishop C5, so I'm not that scared of whatever he's up to. He goes pawn here, which already tells me he's probably going to lose the game pretty quickly. Just my initial assessment. E6 is not a move that you like to play. So what can we do here? Knight d5, queen back. Do we go like all in or just a little bit in? Because knight b5, knight a6 is not anything that special. Yeah, maybe we don't do anything too weird. I'll just go like this. I feel like check, you would be able to meet that pretty nicely. So let's just not do anything too fancy. Definitely think we had some other options there, but I will basically stick to the script of bishop out, yeah, queen out, long castle. He's only got pawns. This is another example of move 10, move 11, and he's gonna have like 0 pieces developed. None. I think we can do this one. Queen e7. I think we might play knight, maybe knight d5. Whoa, Anna! There's a massive raid. 16, 18. More than double my rating right now. Thank you very much, Anna and co and raiders. I'm doing a new speedrun, new series here. The theme, very generally speaking, is attacking chess, but slightly more specifically, I'm trying to castle on the opposite side of my opponent, if I can. My opponent can't castle here, so we have the liberty of choice. Feels good. I really appreciate the raid. Trying to push up to 800 here. Thank you very much, Anna. But the one thing about this series is I'm not trying to create some impression that we're here to just like sack all our pieces, go absolutely insane, play gambits every game. Like, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Trying to teach the more serious fundamentals of attacking chess, which means like you want to make sure you have the initiative, you want to make sure your pieces are developed, all that good stuff. So this is going to be pretty easy for us now. One thing I have maybe steered away from in the early part of this series, but I want to make sure we're clear about is, even if you are an attacking player, to be up material and refuse a queen trade or not be looking for them, I think is a real serious fault. And something where even the greatest attacking player can get caught up trying to keep the queen on the board because they just want to mate. It's like, no, if you're up material, trading the queens is basically the best way to win the game every single time. Like to see all the Kremlin emotes. Anna C. Raid. Oh. Very nice, very nice. We welcome your emotes and your viewership. All right. Little trade here. Also check. I think we'll step back to block it with bishop d4. But I suspect we'll see rook d8. Yes, we do. Trying to go here. 2 pieces for the rook is not worth it, so that move's not going to be good enough. What's the time control? I'm playing 5-minute games. Yes. A little bit more time for myself and my opponents. Although, people who watch this stream will know that it's definitely for me. I'm hoping that if you're watching this series, you're picking up some easy to play openings. That's the goal. And that's a mating net there. Helpful to know. Rooks 2 pawns like that gets it done. Thank you, Stoic. Appreciate that. All right, very nice, very nice. Let's jump into the next game here and see if we can play our attacking style. I always like to keep a focus on the development and the initiative. All right, we see this. Okay, let's go bishop d3. So on moves like d5, we're probably gonna play e5. This is a really good structure for attacking, right? Because the bishop's already aimed exactly where you expect the king to go. Make sure you keep your center under control. And c4. We have probably someone who's looking to castle this way, if I had to guess. He played this move, attack my bishop. Oh my goodness. Pawn there. I'm definitely not too scared of that move. I think taking would be the kind of, I guess, obvious move here. Might hold off though. Just gonna go here. Now with f5, I'm hoping that we get a chance to showcase a few different attacking ideas there, because it looks like it just gets completely closed up, but I think we have a few options. Bishop here, we have e6 just hanging, so we'll have to take. Matt, thanks for the raid. Another one. Another one. Thanks a lot, Matt. All right, we're going to, we're going to grab it. Call me old-fashioned, but a pawn's a pawn. Queen here? No, not going to take. I'm going to go right back. My knight is going to jump into e5. Next move, if he doesn't do anything, yeah. Knight here for sure, I think is the right kind of stuff. That's a big move. There's no castling, so it'll probably be rook here. Yeah, rook here, and maybe we can play bishop there. Okay, plays queen d6. It's a good move. It is a good move. We can't trade queens, so it's just not part of our series here, not part of anything we're trying to do. Knight f7. Don't blink or you'll miss it. I think he'll end up playing a move that defends it, but slightly unintentionally. Okay, so knight here, we still have to be a little bit mindful. Thank goodness we just got the raid from Moving with Matt. I feel more mindful already. Knight f7. We can take this and go knight f7. b7 is also just hanging though. Like it's just sitting there waiting to be taken. So I think I'm going to go for that. Feel a little more tempted by this move. Because this, I'll win some material, but we'll kind of, like our queen will get traded and whatnot. So I feel like this is a little bit nicer. Yeah, he takes. actually going to take here first, eliminate the strong knight. And then after he takes, I could just take back. We could grab the rook. I think I might throw in a bishop g5 check. Trying to get things going as fast as possible. If I'm ever going to cash in some material, then I'm probably going to do it and maybe look to exchange queens. You could keep his bishop, but then I've got this one hanging and then the rook's still trapped in the corner. And like I said, bishop g5 is still kind of a move here. So he goes back, we'll retreat and grab this with check. Yes, he can save his bishop, but this rook is still hanging, and I think I'll throw this check in as well. Trying to be quick, decisive. This looks very good. After king there, I'm not sure where the exact finish is. Queen here. He has king c8. Again, it's not completely over. So I think maybe we'll go for this check. He has to go here. Personally, I'm not like too attached to winning that rook in the corner. I feel like there's just going to be a mate that happens here. So I'm going to play one of the funnier looking moves you'll never expect. I'm just going to go here, man. Like here, I'm just going to... I mean, of course I could castle this way and bring a rook to the middle, but I'm just going to bring absolutely every piece into the attack, and it feels like I'll be able to do it with some success. So this one is now hit. And maybe castle. Okay, he does go for that. Yeah, that's it's an attempt. Takes here. We have that, and this is another good try. We'll take this with a check, so the rook doesn't snag our queen or anything like that. And after this one, I know this thing has been hanging for the entire game, but I'm still not ready to take it. Just letting it marinate a bit. We'll end up winning his queen there, and then finally, after all that, I'll take the rook. I promise you. If this game had continued, I would have taken the rook. Sometimes with the attack, it's just bring more pieces to the party. This is a great structure to know about. Just as an e4 player, you'll see it from time to time in the French. Here we see it, but it's just fantastic for an attack. You have more space. More space means more squares accessible, and less squares accessible to him. Like he doesn't have knight f6, which means if he ever castles here, we have very good attacking prospects. So this is always a structure that I like to have. And then when he played c4, it's like, hey, he's got nothing left to do. No more threats. So it always looks easier to, I feel like it always looks easier to attack with the white pieces. I don't know if you guys have that feeling, but when you play white, it's like much easier to play gambit, launch an attack. Feel like you have the initiative. So let's see if we can make anything happen with the black pieces as well. He was quick with that. He couldn't wait. All right, let's do this one because I'm actually thinking more about castling long. Knight d4 is kind of a threat, so assume he'll do that. He doesn't, so now I'll jump in with knight d4. Queen e3 will immediately blunder. And don't need to overthink here. I wonder which way he's going to castle. He's all ready to do that, so maybe he will. Just like this. I want to see what he's up to there. Okay, that's a long-range bishop. He sees it, though. Okay, first things first, no castling for you. And then I think queen d7. Okay, he's going there, maybe queen a5. I thought he was going to go this way. But yeah, we'll set ourselves up for queenside castling here. Rook e8, bishop f5, all of the above. Very difficult for him to deal with here, and the rook comes to e8. Definitely possible to take, but I would say in general, this is like the good habit. Just bring the rook in, pin the knight to the queen. And now all my pieces are working in the attack, so I'm not leaving anyone behind. If you don't see any like immediate threat to your pieces and you're attacking, if there's no big defensive resource about to happen, bring more pieces in. Almost always be correct. If we take, there actually is queen takes, so yeah, we're gonna take here with jack, and he takes back, we take with the bishop, and all I gotta say is good luck, my friend. Good luck to this guy. He decides to end the suffering. I don't blame him. And the game ended in 25 moves, and he actually went from all his pieces at the start to 0. Actually 0 pieces at the end. Only took him 25 moves. Alright, well, e4 I've pretty much always gone for the scotch so far, so we'll stick with it. Queen in the center, and he's looking for a trade. We don't love queen trades. So I'll play e5 because we're not about that queen trade in life. I thought he was going to go queen b6, which is normally what they do. Okay, let's continue to take free tempi on the queen. Okay, this is, I'm just going to categorize that under highly irrelevant pawns to lose. So yeah, if he wants to spend his time taking that, go ahead. Bishop takes f7 and queen takes b4 is definitely a move here. But I'm just going to keep it real simple. Unpin my knight. Maybe a move like knight d5 threatened. I did get him interested in queen takes c2. Man, he is he's playing with fire here. I can't just go queen here, rook b1. It doesn't quite work. I'd like it to work too, but what I think it can do is go rook c1, force him to commit to something like this, or retreat, and now just castle. Because rook here can actually take, and I don't have a good way to take back. So I'm actually just going to castle here, but it's move 11. He's got a queen out, one piece, like barely qualifying, and I think rook b1 is a pretty serious move next. So it just looks uncomfortable. Yeah, let's go for this. He's basically going to walk into one of our tactics, I think, because how does he not? Knight b5 is completely crushing. Like, I want to play rook takes b4 and bishop f7. That was the whole purpose of this. But, like, my position is just so good here that I don't even think I have to. Like, knight b5 is going to be even better than rook b4 and maybe winning his queen. It's not that I'm, in all these games, of course, I'm winning for a reason, but I would say in about 75% of them is because I'm just off to a great start. And I'm not doing anything fancy in the beginning, I'm just developing my pieces. So yeah, attacking chess starts with development and initiative. That's why after 12 moves, I always say out loud, like, okay, it's been 12 moves, what's the situation? I've got every piece developed and I'm castled, and what about him? Well, yeah. Nothing. Your attacking chess will improve if you follow this series and learn the basics first. I promise you. Subscribe to chessbrah on YouTube if you're not subscribed already, and click that bell to turn on post notifications so you never miss another upload.